Hello and welcome to the universe and to a brand new video. Now YouTuber Budgen has come up with this brilliant idea to celebrate the return of the 9th Doctor and that era of the show. A bunch of us Doctor Who YouTubers should pick one scene each and chat about it, taking a closer look at the finer details and some references, in a series titled One Fantastic Scene. If you want to check out the other great contributions, I'll leave a link to the playlist in the description below, and you can also check it out on Budgen's channel. Now, I've chosen a scene which isn't an action blockbuster or a technical marvel. Instead, I've picked a humble dialogue scene about the turn of the Earth, from Series 1, Episode 1, Rose. It's the scene where Rose and the audience gets a further look into how mysterious and alien the Doctor really is. So, let's get into it. The scene begins minutes after the Doctor and Rose battled an alien Auton arm. The Doctor is still a mystery to both Rose and the audience, and it's her job to try and pull back the mask and find out who the man really is, for the viewer and for herself as a character. The Doctor is shown walking down a flight of stairs from a wide establishing shot, showing off the everyday setting so many people know, a journey countless people make day in day out. Rose could be them, could be you, as the framing cuts in closer. She's chasing after him like a journalist looking for a scoop. Fun fact, the stairs appeared in Doctor Who again in Time of the Doctor. Now notice the security cameras, keep an eye out for them, and notice how the Doctor's dialogue is vague, obscure and 100% evasive when describing the potential threat when they are around. As the Doctor said previously, and as Rose reminds us later in the scene, if people find out killer shop window dummies exist, they'll be on the attack and people will die. Rose makes demands like a small child, telling the Doctor to come back and tell her what he has to do. During the conversation, her responses evolve as the Doctor becomes more transparent. The couple of seconds dashing downstairs is matched to Murray Gold's punchy and high-paced score, which carries the energy from the previous scene before dropping us into the conversation where the actors do the heavy lifting, as Rose asks the important questions like, "Who are you?" The music stops because, like Rose, we want to hear this. From the moment those double doors open, we enter one continuous tracking shot that lasts an impressive amount of time. It showcases Rose's background completely. There's overflowing untidy bins, graffiti and posters plastered on countless garage doors, cars drive in the distance, and dogs bark from afar. This isn't some distant moon orbiting some great celestial event in the alien calendar. This is a real world, and the Doctor, for once, in 900 years of space and time, actually blends in with his clothing, not crazy and bright, instead muted and simple as not to draw attention. Rose attempts to play bad cop, saying she'll tell everyone. The Doctor, unfazed, asks if it's supposed to sound tough, with Rose replying, "Sort of, yeah." Christopher Eccleston's comedic timing is perfect, with the ability to go from serious to silly in seconds, waving gleefully at the mention of his name before trying to close off from Rose and return to his blue box. The Doctor takes Rose's reply and uses it against her in a fantastic fashion as she attempts to charm the secrets out of the Time Lord clinging to his arm. Rose fires more questions at him, guessing who he is, the Doctor beginning to open up bit by bit, hinting at his importance in the grand scheme of things, with Rose an innocent in the crossfire. Collateral damage that is more than happy to use sarcasm, flipping the Doctor's response about the whole world revolving around her being instead about him, for the Traveller to do the same with a sort of yeah. The chemistry between the pair is obvious as characters and actors, with Billie Piper proving a range of approaches to the situation with each question asked, plus the phrasing the world revolving around will come back later on. Anyway, as the Doctor and Rose have a bit of a laugh, she asks if anyone else knows about the threat, and the Doctor says no. Rose posing the idea that the man is lonely. Almost changing the subject, he places the focus on Rose and humanity and their role in stopping aliens being useless. He could have mentioned past friends, armies or invasions, but instead he realises he's not got anyone left, and hasn't really for a long time. He's been fighting a war so long, all the things that seem familiar are now foreign. Friends have moved on and the world has just kept on turning without him. Both inside the show and outside the show, the Doctor has only now come back, and it's about time. Rose treating the Auton arm like a baton in a relay, a symbol of what she wants to understand and the object the Doctor obviously needs. He's got to follow her now. She has all the cards and is ready to listen to what the Doctor has to say. She's not like the rest of us watching TV and eating beans on toast, and the Doctor is shocked to see it. The continuous shot then ends, and we rejoin the conversation after the Doctor's given Rose some answers. The pair are now silhouettes, specks compared to the nature and infrastructure surrounding them as they continue walking. Rose's new outlook on life, her place in the universe, has just been shrunk immensely as the Doctor discusses alien life. The Foley work is great, with the organic sounds of footsteps in nature great enough to suggest where they are and what you could hear if you were Rose, however subtle enough to place our focus purely on the conversation. The conversation stays serious as Rose tries to process the idea of thought control and living plastic. and then they turn a corner in the conversation and in the blocking of the scene, as the pair take a comedic take on the threat, making some jokes about taking over shops and fighting a price war. The pair's chemistry, both actors and characters, are golden. These are both strangers who've been side by side for less than 10 minutes on screen over the course of 2 days, but can already laugh and joke and know how to push each other's buttons. It's all cheesy and childish, and then the Doctor goes cold, explaining how the Autons are actually here to invade and destroy the human race. The Doctor then asks what is like the final question in Rose's job interview for being a companion. He doesn't even realise he's doing it. He asks, "Do you believe me?" Now this isn't just a test for Rose, this is a test for us. Do we want to believe in this world of aliens and Autons and the Doctor and insane adventures just on our doorstep? This sense of escapism? Or do we want to just keep going with the whole mundane life and just not enter this world? Rose replies, no, with the Doctor making her realise that she's still listening, like us. Then she stops, the motion of their dynamic changes. The pair becomes further apart as Rose stops and the Doctor soldiers on, until Rose asks one last time, "Who are you?" This is why the viewers were still watching this first bit of 21st Century Who on the telly. Who is the strange Northerner, and what is that blue box? Rose is the audience, and we are asking that very same question, over and over. Doctor Who? As the Doctor turns around smiling, the music begins to fade in, the alien melody masking out the sounds of normal life. Here's an introduction into the Doctor's world. He's not a normal man for sure, as he holds out his hand to Rose and explains how the world's revolving isn't just a phrase to him. He can feel it. Now all the momentum and energy that we don't even recognise or believe. It's weird, scary and exciting if you think about it, but we don't even notice. So when the Doctor holds out his hand and Rose holds it too, I imagine she can feel the turn of the Earth like him, either through some old-fashioned Time Lord contact, or just through Eccleston's performance alone, being so powerful. The words just hit differently, the concentration he shows and the softer tone he takes as he lets go. The camera angles are close, intense. He then says, "That is who he is." Now before I started this analysis I had no idea what he meant, but now I do. The Doctor is the catalyst for all these things, weird, space and sci-fi. He makes you believe and sees the aliens, the impossible, incredible right in front of your eyes and even under your feet. You don't even realise it until the Doctor shows you how weird and wonderful the universe is, and even the place where you come from, and then just like letting go of a hand, it's over. The Doctor loses you and you lose him, but you can't stop seeing the world like he does. For the Doctor, this is a dance he's performed 100 times. It's his journey with his companions, brief, intense, and ultimately it goes so fast, fades so quickly, and often suddenly, like someone letting go of your hand. That's who he is because that's his life story, but not anymore. He tells Rose to go home and takes the baton away from her, her key to the world of the Time Lord and his TARDIS gone as he walks away. Rose, left shaken, dazed, confused, just overloaded with information, begins to walk away, her brain working away, cogs and gears turning. Meanwhile, the audience is doing the very same, asking themselves again, who's the Doctor? He just talked for ages and he didn't say anything. We don't know anything more, and that blue box for a new viewer is still a mystery, cropping up throughout the episode. The score swells with what would be the Doctor's theme playing. It's not heroic or flamboyant, it's eerie and mysterious, like the character appears to Rose. As she walks away, she hears the engines of the ancient machine, the TARDIS grinding and wheezing, a magical alien symphony filling the air of a council estate in London. Rose, confused and confident, turns and rushes back to where she last saw the Doctor. Now, fun fact, this frame was actually used as the photo provided by Victor Kennedy and given to Elton in the episode Love and Monsters. Now, as she returns to the very spot the wooden police box disappeared, now we've got even more questions. The mystery is greater than ever and sets Rose on a path to find out who the Doctor really is. It's a problem that gives her drive and determination as she rushes into the next scene, her mind racing. You could say it all started out as a mild curiosity for Rose and for all of us, and now it's turned out to be quite the great spirit of adventure. Rose is you and me, the viewer. The Doctor is the show, the gateway into the weird world. So once you meet the Doctor, I'm sure you can agree that life will never be the same again. That's how you reintroduce a character, a world and its universe. That is how in a few minutes of just dialogue set on Earth and an everyday place, you can excite a nation and bring the Who back to Doctor Who. A television icon restored from a joke at the end of one century to one of the greatest TV mysteries in the next. All in one fantastic scene. What did you think of the scene, and what would be your one fantastic scene? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like and subscribe if you want to experience some bonus rewards, and be sure to check out my Patreon page like Time Lord tier supporter Stefan Pastran, who gets to see a selection of my videos 24 hours before anyone else, receives a shout out and a brand new downloadable poster every single month. If they sound like things you'd be interested in, then check out my Patreon page and help the channel grow. Thank you very much again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.